So this is a $30 Fitbit Versa clone from China, and this is another Chinese generic smartwatch also for $30. So welcome guys to another video, and today we'll have a closer look at cheap Chinese smartwatches and also compare them with my Huawei Watch GT. But before we have a closer look at the products, let's check out where they come from and why they are so cheap. Android Wear and the Apple Watch may be grabbing most of the headlines when it comes to smartwatches these days. But there's a whole bunch of smartwatches, from China, where else, available for the picking if you want a wearable on a budget. One of the biggest OEM and ODM manufacturers is No.1, a Chinese brand that exists for years, and I reviewed a lot of their smartwatches in the past. No.1 is a Chinese company that is specialized in wearables, but they also produce rugged smartphones, and back in the early days they also had their own normal Android phones. So No.1 is based in Shenzhen, like most of the bigger tech companies. Their factory looks quite well and clean, and you may ask yourself, how can they throw out a $30 smartwatch and still make a profit? Well, they do make profit, but not a lot. So No.1 is so big that they work at economies of scale. That means they sell such a high number of smartwatches that they can buy resources really cheap and also survive with low profit margins. There are plenty of traders who buy their smartwatches in big bulk orders and try to sell them as No.1 brand or other brands on Amazon or on their own local channels. From my point of view, this is a war that you cannot win, because if you sell something that a Chinese company is selling as well directly from China, you will just lose money. However, these smartwatches are made out of good material, but still the build quality feels really cheap. They run chipsets from MediaTek to Nordic, which are also very cheap, and the features are very limited compared to Android Wear. Also, labor is really cheap in China, and the grade of automation in the assembly isn't really big as well. Also, their Android smartwatches with MediaTek chipset are really cheap because they use lower end hardware and also don't have to pay any licenses. Also, if you have a look at the design, it's not super innovative nor packs any new features. So summarizing, these Chinese smartwatches are so cheap because of cheap labor, there is no R&D, they just copy designs, and also they use lower end hardware like cheap chipsets, smaller batteries, lower grade screens, etc. But now let's have a closer look at these smartwatches and see if they are really that bad. Alright guys, so now we know where these smartwatches come from and why they are so cheap. And now let's have a closer look at them and let's see if they're actually worth the money. So there we go, let's get started with the No.1 G12, which is the Fitbit Versa lookalike smartwatch. Now to be honest, when I took it out of the package for the first time I was like, wow, $30, that's really a good value. But well, when I had a closer look at it, I knew why it is just $30, including free shipping, which is by the way absolutely crazy. Alright, so let's have a closer look here at the strap. Now to be honest, the strap is really good quality, 21mm strap, for instance like the Apple Watch, but the quality is a little bit more Chinese. So it's also made out of a metal mesh, but it doesn't seem like the same good quality because the mesh is already broken here a little bit on the edges, and I haven't used the watch a lot actually, so I'm not really sure why this already falls apart, but the fastener is really strong. Now the strap is also very comfortable, there are no sharp edges or something, and yeah, it's actually quite nice. So let's open it up and let's get it out of here. Then here you can see the green thing here, that's the heart rate scanner. We'll quickly compare it to my Huawei Watch GT a little bit later. And here you can see the charging, let's say connectors. Then this here is the charging cable, which is a USB cable with a simple adapter here for the watch. And this only can be attached in one position, so because there are some magnets inside and it only works like this. But as you can see, this can come off easily. So charging the watch is a real challenge. Now sometimes I put it on it overnight, I wake up in the morning and I check the watch and it's empty because it came off. So this is a really ridiculous system. And I really like the charger on my Watch GT because there is no way that the charger can come off. And I think they should also include such a charger on these cheap watches. But that's just my opinion. So well, as you can see, you can fully take the strap off. At least, yeah, you should be able to do it. And now here we just have the smartwatch. So let's have a closer look at it. Alright guys, so there are just two buttons on the smartwatch. There is that one button on the right side and there is one button on the screen. So this is not a touch screen, there's just a touch sensitive button on the screen. Okay, let's go quickly here through the functions because the functions are actually very limited. So here we have the clock face, we have calories burned, steps taken, date and time. We have a pedometer, which works like this. If you shake the watch, if you move, it will count your steps. The GPS works over the smartphone, and we have here the calories burned. So then here we have the heart rate, and well, the heart rate it's working. It's not that accurate as my Huawei Watch GT, but it's getting the job done. So if you adjust for the heart rate, it is working. Then here you have your sleep analysis, which is just total bullshit. I never used that. And here we have exercises. So basically, if you press the button here for a longer time, then you get into the sub-menu. So here you have different exercises like walking, running, climbing, riding, swimming, treadmill, blah blah blah, whatever, basketball. And if you want to choose one workout, you just hit the button here again, hold it, and it starts the workout. It will then also automatically switch on the heart rate scanner, track your heart rate, and then calculate the calories burned. To stop it, well, you can just press the button here, pause, then you can save or delete it. It's very simple, but to be honest, the menu, it's very strange because I always see myself tapping the screen, but this is actually not working at all because you would have to press, the button here and then the button here for a longer time, which is just really weird. Okay, let's go back. So these are the different exercises. Yeah, what else do we have here? We have here the messages, and if you get messages, you get some Bluetooth notifications, which you can actually adjust in the app. But to be honest, if you want to read anything, it's just really, really annoying, and it's very, very tiny. Then here we have different dials, and I can show you that, but this is also very limited. We have one digital one, and one analog one, and that's it. So very, very simple. Okay, what else do we get here? Then we get to the settings, and that's basically it. So that are all the functions, and the functions are very, very basic. But let's have a close look on how that looks on the smartphone. And yeah, there we go. So the app is called, where is it? Wear Health, which you can see right over here. And I hope you guys can see it. Here you can see measurements. So here you have your workout stuff for today. You can actually use GPS, but only the GPS of the smartphone to start a workout. So basically now you put the smartphone in your pocket, you go for a run, and then it will be here in the app. And you can also track your heart rate with the smartwatch. So, well, you can add friends, and here you can see myself. So yeah, that's basically it. Not too much to adjust here. You just have some device management for notification access. So here you can manage your notifications, time format unit. Really, there's not a lot which you can do. So it's a very basic smartwatch. Then there is the No.1 S10. So it's this smartwatch here. As you can see, it also comes in different versions. So this one here is the one with the metal band, which feels very, very cheap. So this really literally feels like a, I don't know, $2 band from China. You can actually adjust the length, but there were no tools included, which sucks a little bit because you need to have some specific tools in order to adjust it. Yeah, then let's have a closer look at the watch itself. So it's a little bit bigger, has way better battery life, up to 2 weeks. The battery life of the other smartwatch, it was for me just 2 days. Not really sure if it's broken or if it's just bad. Yeah, let's have a closer look at the screen itself. If you check this out, then I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? I thought it's a circular screen just like my Watch GT, which is absolutely cool. Oh, I have to update it. But this one here has just a rectangular screen, which is not even placed in the middle of the circle, which is absolutely stupid. I have no idea why you designed it like that and then just make a rectangular screen. This is just to fool people because it's 30 bucks. On the pictures it looks like it would be a circular one, but then as you can see, this is just rectangular and they use a black background, so it looks like it would be a circular screen. Absolutely stupid. Okay, let's quickly go here through the menu. So this looks different. Here we have some more buttons. So this is basically the button to switch between the things in the menu. This is to go back. So this is here the basic clock face, which looks a little bit nicer, to be honest, than on the No.1 G12. Here you can see the current time, steps, heart rate, calories burned. And here you go to the menu. So this is one layer behind. And with that button, you can go through all the different functions, which are also kind of limited. So let's start here with the dial. As you can see, we have here a few different dials, so a little bit more than on the No.1 G12. Then, yeah, let's go back here another time. Then here we have the pedometer. So this basically counts your steps. Also works like by shaking it. Then here we have health. So this basically is the heart rate scanner. I will later put it on and do a quick comparison. Then here we have messages, so notifications once again. Exercises, basically also the same. There are different exercises, you can switch through them using that button, but also the same exercises like the G12. And yeah, we have a compass included. Let's see if that is working. That is actually quite interesting. So yeah, you have to calibrate it for this time because I didn't use the smartwatch for 2 weeks. And all right, so it's now showing south. Okay, that's actually working because north is this way, exactly this way, and it shows north here. So that's pretty cool. That is actually working. Quite impressed by that because I didn't think that this is actually working. Okay, we have a stopwatch. We have the normal settings where you can use Find My Phone, Vibration, Reset, or just check which watch it actually is. And yeah, that are the functions here on the No.1 S10. So in general, I like the design of this one here as well, but I don't like the rectangular screen, which is just fake and stupid. But also it's a way bigger watch than the smaller, what was it, S10? No, G12. And does also a better battery life, way better battery life. So this is over a week and this is just a few days, and depending on how you use it. Alright guys, so that's it. Let's have a quick look at the difference to the Huawei Watch GT, because also the app is really different. So if we open up the Health app in Huawei, you can see that I use the Watch GT every day. Here you can see my steps for today, distance traveled, calories burned. Then you can also see, for instance, here my steps on average per month, per week, per day, per year. Here that was CS, so that's why I walked a lot. Usually I don't walk so much. You can see my average heart rate right now, so 79 beats per minute. Exercises are really cool because it supports GPS, so I don't need to take my smartphone with me in order to do a GPS run. Walking, cycle, trained. The app looks just way nicer. I had plenty of updates for the Huawei Watch GT. You've seen it right now. I had to do an update right now because there was one available. Yeah, I have my own profile here in the Huawei app and I really like the smartwatch. So the Huawei Watch GT, for instance, it's 150 euros. One of these smartwatches is 30 euros. If you pay a customs fee, it's maybe a little bit more, but usually on such cheap products, you don't have to pay customs fee. But anyway, 5 smartwatches or 1 good smartwatch. And it always comes to personal preference if you have a lot of stuff, but I like to have not so much stuff, but the stuff I have should actually work like it should. And the Huawei Watch GT is actually one of the best smartwatches I've used so far because it has very good battery life, so I usually charge it maximum every 2 weeks, depends on how I use it. Then here you can have a closer look at it. Yeah, it's very nice because it has a full circular display, which is also a really good display. then the buttons here, they feel really nice, and the whole material of the watch is pretty good, because I crashed that watch like 10 or 20 times against the wall and there are only some minor scratches. So here, as you can see, the heart rate interface looks really good. Whether it's not Android Wear, but still, this actually has some good functions. It has GPS included, so I don't need to use my smartphone when I go for a walk or I go running or I want to check it out. So the heart rate scanner is also very accurate, and I just like the smartwatch because of a lot of things. For sure, it's not a real smartwatch in terms of functions, so it's actually a fitness tracker, but I think Huawei did everything right with that watch. So as you can see, here you have find phone, lock. So basically also the same settings like on the other watch, but in a way nicer look and feel. Now, if I get notifications on the watch, I've disabled it for all apps because it's just really annoying. Notifications are something which is really bad even on the Huawei Watch GT, because it only shows you a really tiny window with some text and you can't even see anything on it. So notifications even on the Huawei Watch GT are crap, but still the watch itself as fitness tracker is way better than any No.1 smartwatch. Anyway, it's very interesting to see that these cheap smartwatches are actually working. They feel really cheap, they don't have a lot of functions, but they are working. So if you're interested in checking them out or just want something to test, well, go ahead. For me, it's just a waste of resources. Anyway, it was really nice testing it, and yeah, I also really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video so far. So big thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you have any questions, put them down below in the comments and I'll try to reply as soon as possible. If you have a smartwatch, then please name your model and let me know which one. And as always, guys, big thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a nice day and bye.